We cannot speak of global sea level rise without delving into coastal systems, through which the symbiotic relationship between human and natural systems are in full display. This relationship lends to rapid but devastating and irreversible events impacting both the ecosystem at hand and the human communities that are so dependent on such ecosystems. The purpose of this discussion is to take a microscopic look, so to speak, on the effects global sea level rise has on the natural system, and perhaps equally as important, the effects it has on the socioeconomic aspects of the human system. Now, from my younger years and well into adulthood, there was a reoccurring joke in family conversations that went something like this: Gambia will be gone soon, or we will all be underwater. There was a time when the probability of such a thing happening was seen as ridiculous. However, now that I am older, it seems that the joke has taken a more somber tone, where those who recite it have a little more than a tinge of sadness in their voice with a worrying grin on their face. So what is this joke turned serious? It is the problem of coastal erosion, which is essentially the loss of land in the coastal regions. It is one of the impacts of sea level rises. The Gambia is the smallest country in the mainland continent of Africa. The whole country runs 15 to 30 kilometers wide on either side of its great river Gambia, which flows into the Atlantic Ocean, and only about 400 kilometers long. 10% of the country is covered with river, and 20% is made up of swampy land and flood areas. Essentially, the entire country is made up of mostly coastline along the Atlantic, the river, wetlands, and a thin strip of land, most of it either at or below sea level, which is dominated by all of the aforementioned water sources. Taking these facts into consideration, one can begin to appreciate why Gambia is considered among the 10 most vulnerable countries to coastal erosion and sea level rise in the world. According to climate scenarios, coastal erosion in the Gambia ranges from 1 to 2 meters per year, which is 3 hectares per year in land loss. Furthermore, there is a projected sea level rise of 1.2 meters by 2100, which will lead to total flooding of many coastal areas in the region that are also densely populated, such as the community of Gunjur. As we have explored in our Module 10 lab, vulnerability of a particular region is not determined by environmental factors alone, but rather on the demographics of the region, such as population, the percentage of people living under the poverty line, and the ability to recover from impacts such as land erosion. Much of Gambia's economy is reliant on tourism, fishing, agriculture, and real estate, all of which are threatened by coastal erosion. Coastal communities like Gunjur, whose gross domestic product is made up almost entirely of fishing and agriculture, are a testament to the rippling effects felt by the entire country due to the climate change and subsequent human influences. Land erosion due to rising sea levels and disruptive anthropogenic activities such as sand mining has caused a massive plummet in household incomes in the Gunjur region, a region which makes up 86% of the fishing supplies of the country and has a 21,000 population in a country with an under 2 million overall population. Much of the infrastructure and households of the region are highly exposed to the shoreline. Furthermore, the population is made up of mostly children 5 and under, elderly over 70 years, and women, all which are members needing extra care and resources in order to maintain a healthy level of sustainability. Lastly, most of the households in this region have very low levels of resilience against coastal erosion and sea level rise. This is due to poor infrastructure, very limited disaster planning, and little to no alternative income sources. All three factors taken together result in a region with very high vulnerability to coastal erosion and sea level rise. Three important actions are being proposed in order to foster sustainability and resilience in the midst of rapid coastal erosion in this region. First is offering education resources that teach the members of the Gunjoro community about the climate events going on and the threats these pose to their livelihoods, in hopes that the community members themselves will be more inclined to take the necessary actions needed to ease and, in some cases, reverse the environmental and socioeconomic problems faced. The second is to improve the coastal management initiatives such as sandbags, planting trees, etc., and build better infrastructure. The third initiative is to encourage relocation of the community members themselves, although this one proves to be much more difficult to accomplish. A more effective solution is, as opposed to relocation, would be to introduce alternative income sources.